You believe being helpful will earn respect. You believe being available will make people value you. You believe being generous will make people appreciate you. Here's the harsh truth that might shake everything you thought you knew. The more you give, the less they respect you. Day after day, without even noticing, you're teaching people to see you as their personal servant. Right now, you're likely doing 5 things that are quietly destroying your self-respect, erasing your boundaries, and turning you into everyone's go-to doormat. These aren't just bad habits. They're deep psychological patterns broadcasting to everyone around you that your time, energy, and dignity have no value. Kindness trap number 1. Overgiving. Here's the part that will blow your mind. The Stoics figured this out over 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. These weren't just philosophers. They were men who commanded respect without ever pleading for it. They understood something most people today have completely forgotten. Respect isn't earned by endless service. It's commanded by firm boundaries. Right now, I'm going to show you 5 things you must stop doing immediately if you want people to treat you like someone who matters, not someone who exists just to make their lives easier. Fair warning. When you stop doing these things, some people will get angry, maybe even hate you for it. Good. That's proof you're finally growing a spine. The first habit you must break? Explaining yourself to people who never asked for an explanation. Every time you justify a decision, defend a choice, or deliver a full speech about why you can't do something, you're silently telling the world you don't believe you have the right to make your own choices. Pay attention next time someone asks you for something you don't want to do. Instead of simply saying, no, you probably launch into a long, detailed explanation. Well, I'd really love to help, but I have this thing, and then there's this other situation. I'm so sorry, maybe next time. Stop. Just stop. You sound like you're apologizing for having a life. Kindness trap number 2. Never saying no. Begging for permission to live your own life. Here's the danger of over-explaining. You hand people ammunition to shoot down your decision. Every reason you give becomes a problem they can fix, an obstacle they can remove, or a weakness they can exploit. Oh, you're busy with work? This will just take 5 minutes. Tired? Stop being lazy. Have plans? Cancel them. This is more important. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But every time you over-explain to people who don't respect your boundaries, you hand them power over your choices. You're showing people that your no is really a maybe. They just have to push hard enough to change your mind. Strong people don't explain their boundaries, they enforce them. When you stop justifying your choices, others stop challenging them. Your no becomes definitive, not the opening line of a negotiation you never asked to join. The next habit you must break? Being everyone's unpaid therapist. You know exactly what I mean. You're the one everyone calls when they need to vent, complain, or unload their emotional baggage. You sit there, listening to the same problems on repeat, giving advice they never follow, slowly turning yourself into a dumping ground for other people's negativity. Here's the harsh truth. Most people. Kindness trap number 3. Over-apologizing. Most people don't actually want solutions, they want an audience for their drama. They don't call you because your advice is brilliant. They call you because you're always available, always listening, and never telling them what they don't want to hear. You've become their emotional support animal, not their friend. But here's what it's doing to you. Every time you absorb someone else's negativity, you poison your own mindset. You might start your day feeling fine, but after a few calls full of complaints, you're drained, frustrated, and pessimistic. Their problems become your problems. Their stress becomes your stress. Their chaos becomes your chaos. Seneca understood this well when he wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." But you can't begin building your own mental strength while carrying everyone else's emotional weight. You can't focus on your growth if you're constantly managing other people's breakdowns. The solution is simple, but it's going to feel harsh. Stop making yourself available for every emotional crisis. When someone starts unloading on you, redirect the conversation. That sounds tough. What are you going to do about it? Don't offer solutions. Don't soak up their emotions. And stop acting like their unpaid therapist. The third habit you must break is lending money and doing favors for people who never return the gesture. You know exactly who they are. The ones who are always broke when the check arrives, always need. Kindness trap number 4. Forgiving too quickly. Help moving, always have emergencies that demand your time or money. But when you need something, they're suddenly too busy, too broke, or mysteriously forget all the times you've helped them. Here's the truth. Every time you keep helping people who never help you back, you're training them to see you as a resource, not a person. You're teaching them that your time isn't valuable, your money is disposable, and your generosity has no boundaries. You've become their personal ATM and unpaid assistant, and they know it. Here's why this quietly destroys your relationships. When you keep giving without ever receiving, you create an unbalanced dynamic. They stop appreciating your help and start feeling entitled to it. You stop feeling generous and start feeling used. What was once a relationship turns into a one-way transaction. I'll give on your side, I'll take on theirs. Epictetus, who was literally born a slave before becoming a philosopher, understood this better than anyone. He taught that while you can't control other people's actions, you can always control your response. When you keep giving to people who only take, you're choosing to remain chained to their selfishness. The Stoic approach is simple: practice reciprocal generosity. Help those who help others. Lend money to people who pay it back. Do favors for people who return them. Your generosity should be a reward for good character, not a subsidy for selfishness. Kindness trap number 5. Putting everyone before yourself. Character, not a reward for selfishness. The 4th habit you must break is apologizing for existing. You apologize for your opinions, your needs, your presence, even your very existence. Sorry to bother you. Sorry for asking. Sorry I'm here. Stop apologizing for being human. You have just as much right to exist as anyone else. Every unnecessary sorry is a quiet act of self-betrayal. You're telling the world your presence is a burden, your needs are an inconvenience, and your thoughts don't matter. You're teaching people that you don't deserve respect, because you don't respect yourself. The 5th habit you must stop is seeking validation from people who don't even like you. You keep trying to prove your worth to people who have already decided you're not worth their time. You change your opinions based on who's in the room. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You agree with things you don't believe. You're performing a fake version of yourself that you think others will approve of. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. External validation is a drug that never satisfies. The more you chase approval from others, the less you approve of yourself. The more you try to be liked by everyone, the less you like who you're becoming. You get addicted to their opinions, and lose touch with your own values. How to stop losing power. Other people's opinions while drifting further from your own values. Stoics don't apologize for existing, and they don't wait for permission to have opinions. They know their worth isn't decided by a popularity contest. When you stop chasing external validation, you start building real inner strength. When you stop apologizing for being yourself, people finally start respecting the real you. Here's what to expect when you break these 5 habits. At first, people will be confused, maybe even angry. They're used to you explaining yourself, absorbing their drama, giving without limits, and apologizing for taking up space. When you finally start acting like someone who values themselves, people will push back hard. Some will call you selfish for setting boundaries. Others will say you've changed, that you're not the same person. And they're right, you're not. You're no longer their emotional support system, their free bank, their unpaid therapist, or their constant source of validation. You're becoming someone who respects themselves enough to demand respect from everyone else. Here's the best part. The people who truly care about you will adjust. They'll respect your boundaries, value your time, and appreciate your help, precisely because it's no longer endless or guaranteed. Final truth about respect. Your relationships will finally become healthier, because they'll finally be balanced. The Stoics knew the truth. Self-respect isn't selfish, it's essential. You cannot give what you don't have. If you don't respect yourself, you can't teach others to respect you. If you don't value your time, no one else will. If you don't protect your energy, everyone will drain it. Marcus Aurelius said, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does." Stop worrying about what others think of your boundaries. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't respect you anyway. Stop being everyone's solution, and start being your own priority. If you're ready to stop being everyone's doormat and start commanding the respect you deserve, stick around.